No, it wasn't. Okay. Hey. What up?
What's up?
What's up?
All right, so The Shy season 2. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
Season 2, episode 1. You watched it?
I thought it was a good episode. I was a little traumatized at the end, but I guess we'll allow ourselves to build up for the viewers as to what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so I for real, I honestly wish I would have went back and watched season 1 right before I started season 2, because it was a few things that I had forgot, like
what?
Like the backdrop. I just feel like I forgot a little bit about how things had played out. It's been almost a year since season 1 has been out, so it was just some things I wish I would have just rewatched.
Okay.
But, for the most part, season 2 right back basically where season 1 left off, pretty much, kind of. Mm-hmm. We see Brandon, which is like one of the main characters. He is working on like his food truck finally.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is our first time seeing that, right?
It is, because his journey first season was, he loved to cook. He loved to, he was a chef. And then, they talked about that throughout season 1. And then, he took a leap of faith, got this food truck.
Yeah.
And which, to me symbolized, him making a way for his own. And it was a big moment, It's like, yeah. Mm-hmm. Finally did it, actually having some customers, all to quickly get that taken away from him in the first episode, which I thought, oh, wow, this is really early, stuff like I honestly probably would have liked to see him have the truck for at least the first episode, like to get into it a little bit more. But
for people who don't know what happened?
So Brandon, he got a food truck. He saved his money, bought a food truck, decked it out. And it appeared to be doing quite well. Now, was he making a ton of money? No. It's kind of like when you first get something and you first start your business, you're kind of doing what you need to do to get some business. And that's what he's been doing. But, he's in the first episode, I would like to say that I felt like he was getting his groove. He was planting his feet. And then out of nowhere, like I didn't expect this, so they did a great job with that, because I didn't even think like he would get this truck stolen from him. And by stolen, I mean he was robbed at gunpoint. I think he was pulling up to his house one night after a good day of sales, or a decent day of sales. And a guy comes up, puts a gun to his head, and is like, give me your money. And he's like, really? And he's like, yeah, give me your money. He's like, I mean, man, I only got like $300. Like, it's only $300. Like, how hard I had to work for this $300? So the dude wasn't playing. He was like, give me the money. He gave him the money. And what was heart-crushing for me was, because, again, I didn't think he was going to ask for the truck. I was like, hey, he's going to stop, give him the money, go. Nah, this fool was like, give me the keys to the truck. And Brandon was like, God damn, like, are you for real? Like, please. He was like begging and pleading, like, no, take anything else. And the guy wasn't playing, so he gave the keys over. And as we learned, to make a long story short, Brandon did not have insurance on the truck. So it's not like he could call somebody and be like, yo,
And this is interesting to me, because this is when it reintroduces Jerica, which is his
girlfriend.
So we know they like had issues last season. They broke up and got back together or whatever.
Yeah.
So she's always that reasonable person who has her shit together and knows what to do. And it's something about her I cannot stand. But she picks that right back up. So she basically tells Brandon, don't tell me you didn't fucking get insurance for this damn truck. And treat him like a kid, basically. And it's like, yeah, he has to admit she was right once again. He didn't get insurance. He fucked up. She tells him to call the police, which I think is funny. And Brandon's like, man, what the police gonna do? So it's like he's so hood.
He shouldn't have been driving it no way. That's what he's thinking. Like, I shouldn't have driven this anyway because I didn't have all of the credentials.
He didn't have the proper permits and shit. He was waiting on everything to get like official. So
that's why you don't like her, is because it's like, bitch, you know who you fucking with. You know why he ain't finna call the police. Like, don't sit up here and act like, babe, why did you not have your T's crossed and I's dotted? Because, bitch, it's hard to even get what I just got.
And it's like, if she gave him the money for the start, because I think it left off where she gave him the money originally to get the truck. Like, she gave him like some large sum of money because apparently she's like wealthy. I don't know why she didn't secure the fucking permits. Not to say that's her job, but I'm saying if my money's going into some shit, I'll be like, well, we need the permits and shit too. Yeah. Since you're little Miss Know-It-all, Jerica.
Right.
I digress. Whatever. So that's where we basically get to with them. With their storyline in the first episode.
Right.
He's just trying to recover his truck, basically. The kids, my favorite part of the Shy. So we get right back into the kids, and we see that, like, damn, what's the little boy's name?
I'm not good with the name. That's the only.
I know. This is the boy that, damn it. The kids are the best part to me. It's not, because Papa's his best friend. Let's see. Kevin. Okay, Kevin. So little boy Kevin, who was like the main character of the little kids, he basically is having trouble dealing with the fact that he went through all that fucking trauma last season with witnessing Coogie's death and then also shooting Ronnie by accident because they were like fighting over the gun and shit. And anyways, his parents end up finding out, and now his parents are like forcing him to see like a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
A white lady.
Yeah.
And those scenes are so cringy. I'm just like, oh God. That's really how therapy feels to me, because I've tried therapy and it's just like, you don't relate to anything I've ever been through in my life. Like, what do you know about me? So that's what I was getting from it.
Yeah, I can relate to that too, because, I was bad growing up. I just was. So my mom, she would try everything. She would try to leave me in group home. She would try to send me to therapy. Therapy for me was, again, anytime you have or you introduce therapy to someone, if they don't want to do it, it's never going to be the intended outcome. I don't want to say never, because sometimes you don't know that you need it until you go. However, for me as a kid, I don't want to fucking talk to nobody. I want to be by myself. I want to do what I want to do. You're not going to understand me. You're definitely not going to understand me. I definitely don't want to talk to you. So yeah, I can identify with him in that moment as well.
Yeah, his mom was basically forcing him to do therapy.
But
he wasn't really feeling it. But he was going every day. But he ends up talking to, I think, his sister or something. And she was like, you really been through some real shit. Just try to talk to the lady.
Yeah.
Yeah. He reunites with like his friends, Papa and the badass one. What's the badass little boy's name with the dreads?
I don't know.
Damn, I know you don't know. I'm gonna stop asking you the name.
I don't know none of the names.
Little boy whose older brother is like that big time drug dealer.
What was his name?
Reggie. I do remember
Reggie.
He's cute to me. But yeah, so him and Kevin make up because they weren't talking at the end of last episode. And they just are being kids, Maisha, the big girl, she's so fucking funny. Her and Papa are the funniest kids, and they have their little one-liners and stuff. The
big girl reminds me of my son's crush at school. Well, wait a minute, let me rephrase that. He does not have a crush on her. She's got a crush on him.
Aww.
And I've had to, she's very aggressive, She'll say, Carter, come over here and give me a hug. I've witnessed this. And I'll look like, Carter, give her a hug. And he'll be like, Mommy, no, I don't want to give her a hug. I'm like, Carter, come here. And she'll be like, Carter, I'm waiting. And I'm like, oh. I'm like, okay. I was like, so I said, well, just wave to her. It's this intimidation, like, but he will. He's coming to me. He's like, Mommy, I don't want to give her a hug. And I was like, okay, baby. Well, it's just, she really reminds me of the little girl. She may not be in that specific way, but just traits. It's funny. It's funny.
Shoot, he's Kevin then, because Maisha loves her some Kevin.
Man, she loves that boy's dirty draws. You hear me? Oh. She loves them. And I think it would be funny to see them actually get together as they like get older. And like, because just because you start out, we all go through our phases as we grow up, and you see the girl where you thought, oh damn, is that Maisha? Oh, you look, night and day from whatever. So that would be cute if they, in their teen years, maybe hooked up. But
yeah, spoiler alert, that actually does happen later in the season. So, but since we're not officially,
you just gonna spoil it for me though.
It's like, I'm not telling you what really happens. No, I'm not. I don't know if they get together, but I'm saying she does have a little glow up moment, which is appreciated. So she glows up a little bit.
Okay.
And everybody takes two looks like, oh, is that Maisha?
Yeah.
Okay. So she has a little moment, and I think that's really cute.
That's cute. That is cute.
I love how the kids like keep it lighthearted and fun on the show. So, because there's some heavy shit in The Chi, but they got it mixed in. You don't even know it's coming half the time.
What do we think about? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Okay, no, I was just gonna go into the next storyline, basically, which the next one after that would be like Ronnie and his grandmother. So, Ronnie, we pick up with him being back in jail. Actually, we see that he did go to jail because he got sentenced earlier. He turned himself in. He admitted to killing Coogie. So he's in jail, dealing with jail. He seems to be acting like it's the army or whatever. He seems to be very on it. He's cleaning. He's working out. People are going to him for stuff. He's seeming to be very comfortable in jail. And
let me pause you right there, because I want to pull up a point or point out a point, what I'm trying to make, that I felt like was very interesting, that the Chi, or Lena, the director, producer, made it a point with these characters. So even in the first season, because when you brought up Ronnie, I was like, this is just what I think about, because it pairs the question of, we know that he shoots a kid, but we also know that his kid was shot. So, and even in the first season, you see a lot of like, I may be doing something, but you don't know what my story was, or who I lost and who I'm trying to seek justice for. And I just get caught up in so I guess what I'm basically getting to is everyone has a story. And I think the Chi has done a really great job at highlighting, it's not just people wake up being bad and just, want to kill everybody and shoot them up. Like, it literally, there are tons of situations that lead people down certain paths. And it doesn't just have to be because, they're Black and they're bad, or they grew up in this environment, so this is how they're going to turn out. No, Ronnie, you feel for him because he lost his child, but then you also are like, damn, but you just killed somebody else, whether you meant, do you know what I mean? So it's like, you, as a watcher or viewer, there's that battle between, yes, you should go to jail because now somebody else doesn't have their kid, but then I felt for you because you lost. You know what I'm saying? So it's just that mirror kind of image that I wanted to point out.
Absolutely. It's a major theme. I think it's a major theme in her whole series, as well as like just in general today, like right. Jordan Peele's Us. It's a lot of like, what is the bad guy? Who is the bad guy? Like,
for sure.
It's making you think, it's that things are not black and white. And it's beautifully done in the Chi, for real, because it's really hard. It's an internal battle. So in season 2, this first episode, his major battle, Ronnie, is him trying to get out of jail. So he didn't want the family to go through the trial. He thought he would get some he would get some leniency on his sentencing because he did turn himself in, but come to find out he was sentenced like a bunch of years. So he wants to appeal it, and so he goes seeking after like a lawyer to try to get that started. It flashes back they start this whole flashback series within the series, season 1, which it goes back to Ronnie when he was in the military, getting out of that, how he got to living in Chicago at his grandmother's house, how he even met Jason. So basically Jason became really important to him because it was almost destined for him to meet Jason because he was about to kill himself. So he was trying to get, Ronnie came home from the military. He was having a really tough time trying to get a job. He wanted to be part of the police force. His grandmother was bragging to her friends and stuff, talking about how, you know, her grandson was about to be making money, being top policeman, whatever. But Ronnie gets turned down. He doesn't make it. He doesn't pass the test or whatever it is. So he goes to his room. He seems to be like very depressed. I don't know if he was like drinking. I guess that's what they're trying to say, how he started being a drunk or whatever. But he grabs a gun, and the moment where it looked as if he was contemplating killing himself, a ball comes and shatters his window. He runs outside and chases the kids, and the kid is Jason. So who he ends up dating his mother, and claims him to be like his son. So we see how that relationship started, which sets off the whole stream of events that happened the first season. So it was kind of interesting. At first I was like, with the flashback, I was just like, where are we going with this? You know, I thought it was going to be like a definitive thing, but it was kind of good to see, I guess, how he got to where he was, because the first season he was just looked at as like a drunk or a crackhead or somebody, like we was just like, oh, you're just a random. But it was cool to have like that development on him.
Right.
Unfortunately, it becomes even more of a turmoil because we all like Coogie. Yes, we didn't want him to get killed, but should Ronnie stay in jail for something that, like, he didn't mean to kill Coogie? Like, it was like he thought this person killed his son, you know what I'm saying? And he did the right thing to turn himself in. So his grandmother was dependent on him, relying on him. She's ill, and unfortunately, somebody breaks into her house and attacks her brutally at the end of the episode. It was super traumatic. I wasn't expecting it. Mia, you already told me. You were like, what the fuck?
Y'all, like, Whitney knows how I feel, because we feel the same way. We share the same hate for people who are mean to old people and mean to children. So the fact that she knew, she had watched this episode before I did, and she knew, she did give me a warning. She said at the very end, there is something that's like, oh, whoa, it fucked me up. I didn't see it coming. I just wish, you know, I had a better heads up, something specific, because that was very hard to watch, in all seriousness. Yeah. It was very hard to watch. I understand things like this happen more than we know or more than we see, but it was very real. I mean, it was a lot. So if you have not seen the first episode, or even if you have, share your thoughts on that particular scene with us, because
a lot of people I saw, they said that it was disturbed them highly, and even like a lot of the reviews, that's one of the headlines, is like, this is a brutal attack that was displayed in a very realistic way for television. And I'm pretty sure that was done intentionally, because throughout that first episode, for the most part, it was pretty chill. It wasn't any major incident. Even when Brandon got robbed, it was a chill rob. Like, the dude clearly wasn't going to kill him. It was just like calm. It wasn't anything like brutal or anything like that. He didn't hit him or anything. So we weren't expecting this, and I think she did it intentionally, because it's like, old people sometimes are overlooked, and a lot of attention isn't given to that. Like, it's like, oh, an old lady got attacked in the park, but it doesn't really make front page news for more than like 12 hours, you know, because people really don't care about old people like that. So I think, and it's sad, you know, my heart goes out to elderly people. Y'all are amazing, because how the hell do you live on this earth for that long? That's crazy. But I think she did it intentionally, because it's an overlooked situation and topic. Yeah. So it was something you couldn't overlook, and emotionally you were like involved.
Disturbed. You were definitely emotionally. I was emotionally stressed. Yeah. And
I instantly thought about my grandma or my aunt or whatever. Like, I just instantly thought about
I instantly thought about my mom. You know, she may not be 80, but she's almost 70 in a year or two. And the fact that like people, and I think about this all the time, my mom, she stays in the hood still. It's gentrifying. It's in the process. But, you know, there's still a lot of fuckery that goes on and people that don't give a fuck. And our house specifically has been broken into like 3 times. The one that she stays inside of, you know, she fortunately hasn't been like robbed or there when any of this has happened, but it still is concerning. And I've always felt like, I don't know if I've watched too much First 48 because they show things like that too, but I'm like, these people out here, man, they just don't give a fuck. There's some people out here that just don't give a fuck, and they will do some crazy ass shit for a TV. For a $200 TV, you gonna sit up here and do whatever you want to do for $100. Like, it is crazy. So kudos to Lena, at least on the first episode. I know
there's some more. I'm not done. Are you done?
No. I'm not wrapping up. I was just saying, like, you know, obviously, you know more on the upcoming episodes, but, you know, so far from what I've seen just in this first episode, like, I can't wait to watch the rest of them, you know? Because I was so, like, I said in our last podcast, I was like, I mean, so far it's good, even though you were like, well, you haven't really watched enough of it. But for me, the ending was like, oh, shit. Like, then it ended.
I just really enjoy the Chi. So literally, I could have like 20 episodes of them doing nothing. I just like the fact of like, it's like a fly on the wall with like, just, it really doesn't even have to be no crazy shit. I just like the characters. I like I like the dialogue. I think it's really funny. It's a really funny show. So like moving on to my second favorite storyline. So I'm trying to do it by character so I don't miss anyone. But
Emmett?
Yeah, Emmett.
Mm-hmm.
So I love Emmett. I don't know how you feel about him, but I love him. He's so like charismatic.
I like Emmett. I don't really have anything to say, you know.
Yeah. So it's Emmett and his mom.
His mom
is tied to Ronnie because she takes care of his grandmother. So all these characters are loosely tied together within this whole situation. But so we get to the point where we see that Emmett's mom is tired of his shit. He's not doing shit. She's like, wake up, you missed your school aid appointment. You missed your fucking appointment for the 80th time. And he's like, oh, it's whatever, I'll reschedule. You know, so she's getting to the point where she's saying that, like, okay, her son is a grown-ass man that's living in her house, is not doing shit. She has to move out of her house because she did lose her job last season because she got caught stealing for Miss Ethel, Ronnie's grandmother. So they show her packing up and moving. And this is when she tells Emmett, look, you got to find your own spot. Okay, I'm moving and I'm moving into 1 bedroom, figure it out. So we go through the whole scene.
She literally said that.
Yeah, she literally kicked him out. It's funny because he tries to like go to everyone's house that he knows. And that whole thing was kind of funny to me. And then we find out that he hasn't seen his son. I forget his son's name, but his baby mama is very difficult for some reason. We don't know why she's so fucking angry, but she's angry.
I can tell you why she's angry. Because the first season he was
taking care of him, I thought. Wasn't the boy living with the mom? See, that's why I was like, I need to go back and watch the first season, because didn't she drop him off and then Emmett was taking care of the son full time, and then he didn't get to see him because she got a new boyfriend or some shit?
Was it that? I could have sworn it was like, I don't think it went down like that. I need to rewatch it, but I don't think it went down like, yes, I get what you're saying as far as him. I think he was forced in a position where she was like, no, take the baby. Like, I need a break type situation.
Right. And then at that point, what I thought was that the relationship had changed because
yeah,
and everything. So
but we knew she was getting her ass beat from her boyfriend too. Right. We learned that last season.
And then I think Emmett stepped in that last episode to kind of like stop the situation. So I'm like, why is she upset? Didn't Emmett just kind of like stop your man from whooping
he
your
either
ass.
stopped it or he made it worse.
Right.
You
Fair.
know,
That's fair.
if for our viewers that have not watched 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 like you have, how it left off, we could assume that he made it worse because it's like, or like you said, it got better. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should be like,
I'm not talking about this season. I'm talking about last season. So I'm not mentioning the other episodes from this. I'm talking about last season where it left off. He got beat up by the boyfriend because he heard her getting her ass beat.
No. I know, but I was saying, if you have seen the episodes, you probably know what it is for sure now. If it's come to, you know what I'm saying? If it's come to that, like, meaning like, oh, I get it. I get why this relationship is the way it is. So, but yeah, to piggyback off what we were just talking about. But yeah, I mean, I don't know why she's angry. I just can conclude that it's because of just her own story, you know, their story, meaning Emmett and her story, and then now a situation where she probably is like, fuck, here we go again. I made a bad choice and I can't get out of it, or she can't get out of it, whatever the case is. I just feel like it's a complex situation, being that she's a baby mom.
I'm not a mom or whatever, but I just don't see why she wouldn't let him see the son. It just seemed like it was a reason why she couldn't see the kid. I'm like, why are you not letting him see the son? Like, he's there at the house. I don't know. I would never keep my kid away from their dad unless it was like a dangerous type of situation. But
yeah, I would never. I am a mom.
I don't.
I've never threatened. I am a mom, and I've never threatened to keep, and I've always made a vow to that, unless it was a dangerous situation.
Right.
But there are tons of women that do it.
Yeah.
For several reasons. You know, they use it as a way to control the relationship. They do it to be petty. They do it because the father isn't shit. They do it because, you know, so they do it for all different kinds of reasons. But it is interesting to see their story play out the way it does. Because, like, for me, I really felt bad. I was like, when he was knocking on the door and they're having that conversation, like, she was so aggressive. She was so angry. She was, like, so adamant about him not coming in. And it was kind of like,
he beat up on the train. You saw that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he got beat up on the train, and the guy said he was Tiffany's brother or something.
Mm-hmm.
So it made it seem like the baby mama sent her brother to beat him up. But it's like, damn, he tried to see the kid. You still gonna have him beat up? And I'm guessing it's about money, but we'll see.
But I just want him to grow up. And I know there are situations with our men and our boys, young men that have one, if we look at the situation, his dad is not in the picture. That's apparent. Emmett's dad. And I'm not saying that it can't be possible for a single mother to raise a respectable, successful young man into society, but it's hard because I can't identify. I can't teach my son how to be a man. I can't teach him how to piss. I can't, you know, there's things that I just literally can't do it, nor can I identify with. So I think.
How do you feel about his mom? Like, because my cousin, we watched this together, and she was like, I'm sorry. I know his mom is trying to do the right thing, but I just could not kick my son out. Like, I'm not going to let him sleep outside on the train, like, ever. I mean, it was clearly she was trying to give him tough love, you know? But
sometimes I do feel like it's too late. Not too late to ever, what am I trying to say? So I have to break it down.
I couldn't have done it. Like, south side of Chicago, if that nigga got shot, I'm going to feel horrible because my son was pleading to come in the house and now he done got shot in the street.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Yeah. Like, you don't live in the suburbs, lady. You live in the south side of Chicago. I mean, it was a little much. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's knowing how people dying in them streets, that's just crazy to me. But
I mean, I get it, but like for me in my household, Carter is going to have to, Carter's my son, he's going to have to do something at 18. So if he doesn't want to go to college, he'll have to get a job. He's going to have to, because now would I kick him out? Sure, I would kick him out. If he
Emmett did have a job, you know, he had a job.
No, but it's not, no. So for me, it's not just working at McDonald's and you're 21 with a baby and you get this McDonald's paycheck and you think that you're not going da-da-da-da-da-da, like,
Yeah.
no.
She had every right to discipline him.
The thing about it is that I guess the point that I'm trying to make is ain't nobody gonna feel sorry for no black grown-ass man. Like, they're not. They're just not. And so as a mother, you have to, and if there's no dad in the picture, we naturally, as women, we naturally nurture, we naturally cultivate, we naturally spoil, we naturally are just that person where people can take from us and take and take. I don't care if it's your seed, I don't care if it's your husband, I don't care if it's whoever, your friendships. Naturally, as a woman, not all, but just naturally, innately in us, we are nurturers. And so sometimes we can be nurturing to a fault. And I don't know how old he is in this
It makes me
show.
feel like he's like 2021.
2021.
Yeah.
So I'm not expecting a 2021-year-old to have it all figured out, no. But the individual that I'm seeing that he is depicted in the show, he has a lot of growing up to do. Specifically because you live in Chicago. There are certain steps that you need to be taking to move yourself from McDonald's or wherever you're working in a kitchen. And as we see too, he loves to buy shoes. He loves to be G'd up. He loves to do all these other things, but he doesn't have a car. He doesn't have like any kind of what's the word I'm looking for? He just doesn't seem responsible. That's as simple as it is for me. He doesn't seem responsible. And I don't expect someone his age to have it all figured out, but I don't look at her. If
and it's unfortunate because he's really smart. You can tell he's smart.
Absolutely, he is.
And charismatic. He's so charismatic and very smart. So it is unfortunate, but yeah.
Yeah, but you got to be.
I just don't know if I'd kick my son out.
But you do have to
outside of Chicago.
But parents have, regardless, you got to.
Like you said, I feel like she had, like, it was almost like too late. Like, why did you let him get to 21 and he hasn't went to school or?
Because she got her own shit going on. She don't have, because she's tired. She's exhausted. She's now lost her damn job. She's exhausted. She's raised this person for so long. She's got her own stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I think that it does. The show doesn't really.
But you said it yourself. It's too late. Like, it gets to a point where it's gonna get to that point where you have to kick your kid out if you don't implement those things while they're fucking growing up.
And she's tired. Like I said, she's tired of probably giving him chance. Because in last season, she was helping take care of the baby. She was helping him try. She's like, okay, you know what? I see that you're making some sort of step. I see that you're trying to do something right. Now, I'm telling you, this is the last time I'm going to give you. If you fuck up again, I'm wiping my hands, da-da-da-da. And however he got there, however we saw that he got here to this season where he's homeless and out and about, whatever, that's his fault. You know what I'm saying? But again, he's going to have to make those mistakes. He's going to have to bump his head. He's going to have to figure this out.
Yeah.
He's going to have to figure out, I'm tired of being homeless. My mama ain't going. My baby mama ain't going. So I need to figure out a way to if I really want to see my kid, like, he's going to have to become a man through these experiences. And these hard ass experiences is real life. So
So Emmett ends up.
I'm sure it was hard for her though to kick him out. Like, I don't think that that's an easy decision to kick your son out, knowing all of what's going on in the world. Like, I don't. No,
it definitely showed that it was hard for her. She was like crying when he did it. If I was anywhere else in the world, I probably would. But Chirac, no, I'm not kicking my son out in the middle of Chirac. But it's the Chi.
Girl, anywhere out here is crazy though.
It is, but
a lot of people love Chirac. A lot of people live in the suburbs. They love the hood, so
they do.
You can't help what you like and what you gravitate to.
But Chirac, Chicago is one of the most deadliest cities in the nation. So I don't know, as a black man, I would kick my black son out, but I see what she went with that. So at the end of the episode, Emmett ends up going to his father's house, and this is where the first time we see his father, and it looks like his father is him 20 years in the future, because his father looked like he got like 7 kids in the background of all different ethnicities and shit. Like, it just looks like a bunch of random kids
right
around him. So And that's where it leaves off with Emmett. So,
yes, it does.
which his daddy was cute. I was like,
His daddy was kind of fun.
yeah, he got a little charm on him. Okay.
Hey, daddy.
See where you get it from. Because he don't look nothing like his mom. So.
Yeah, the acting. Yeah, you don't look like his mama.
He looks nothing like her. So, but
yeah,
I'm excited. It was a good little opener episode.
Well, also, and then too, let's not forget about the scene where Brandon and his stepdad. Obviously, his mom and him aren't married, I don't think, but you know, last season he took the gun away from him, and Brandon was like, "The fuck," like, you know, he's like, and then he gives it back to him this season, which showed, you know, like a connection that they were. You know, kind of trying to make, or have that moment where it was like, I'm really not a bad guy, and I know you're not a bad kid, but you know, so I thought that was kind of cute.
Because what was I gonna say? Because his stepdad was an asshole for the most part.
He was, and they did a great job in showing that too. But
that was cute to see that he cared for Brandon like that.
Well, and then too, like last season, he was an asshole, but there were moments where I understood why he was like that. Like, he was an asshole, but he was also like, "Hey, you need to get your shit together. Your mama ain't here. She's fucking struggling. She da 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 da." And it's like, "Well, why you ain't doing this?" And, and it's like, you want to come, you know? So I do
put him into place. Yeah,
put him into place. Yes, he was an asshole, but then at the same time, it was like, you know, again, there's that other side to it where it's like, well, where do you? You know, because Brandon also needed to get his shit together. So, you know, interesting. I can't wait to watch season 2. Or not season 2, episode 2.
I love the show. I really would love the kids to honestly have their own spinoff. They can have their own.
You love the kids that much. See, the kids are just okay to me.
The kids show could be brought in with, I feel like other kids could watch the kids. Like, it's almost like a Degrassi, but in a hood way, like a real life Degrassi.
I never watched Degrassi.
I love Degrassi, man.
Isn't that where you saw Drake or something?
Yes. Wheelchair Jimmy, Aubrey. I sure did. Shout out Drake. For those who don't know, Degrassi is what is it? It's like a coming of age teen series that was original. It's from Canada, and it got super popular here in America. And yeah, all the episodes are on YouTube if you want to watch them for free. Okay. It's a good show. So yeah, this was great. We're going to do a review of every episode. So please subscribe and leave your comments. Let us know, what do you think is going to happen next episode? Were you shocked to see the granny get beat the fuck up? Because that was just like so fucking crazy to me. Yeah. What other cliffhangers? Do you think Emmett's going to get his shit together?
I think that we will see a complete turnaround of Emmett, because like I just feel like he's going to get tired, being that he is at what he feels like is rock bottom. I would like to think he's going to come out on the other side of that.
So leave us, what do y'all think below? Do you think Emmett's going to do this shit together? Anything else?
Anything else. Yeah. Yep. And I also think that Ronnie's going to get out of jail.
Yes. And
I don't know why. I think he's going to get approved appeal. I think it'll be kind of like a tug of war type thing, but I think at the end of it, he's going to be able to get out.
And I'm super torn with the whole Ronnie thing. Like, it's like, fuck. I get it, but at the same time, did you have to kill the kid? Like, you didn't. You really didn't. But, you know. It's tough, man. It's the shy. It's tough. So, catch us back next episode.
Next
episode.
Who don't know,
subscribe to our podcast, the Black Coffee and Tea Podcast, on Spotify, Apple, SoundCloud, anything, everything. All right.
Yep. Instagram, Black Coffee and Tea, and
at BCT Podcast.
At BCT Podcast. Whoa. Oh my gosh. So yeah, and on Facebook, Black Coffee and Tea Podcast. So
everything's below. Till next time. Deuces.
If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you subscribe to the Black Coffee and Tea podcast, available now on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and YouTube.
And if you want to be a part of the BCT fam, make sure you follow us on Instagram at BCT Podcast.
Until next time.